Hello class. Today we'll be discussing about resume, CV and job application. Now we have already done the cover letter part, as you already know by now that it is essential to use a cover letter with your CV or your resume. If you go into the details of this article that I have shared with you, you'll see that a CV is something which you write chronologically about yourself. I'll go into the details later. So here is something given about resume and cover letter, which is more important. So you know both are necessary. Important is not the fact that both are necessary. Now some formatting tips is there should be 1 inch margin and line spacing and legible fonts and all those things. These are the standard formats of a CV. First is called the reverse chronological resume, second is called the functional resume, and third is called the combination resume. Now why is it reverse chronology? If you start with what you did first, that means you were born, you got into school, you then passed school, you then went to college, went to the +2 standard, then to college. So that is not something which people are interested in. People are interested in the reverse order. So is resume is something where you give the highlighted things. That is why you start with the reverse order. You start with your experience, your other jobs that you have done, if you have anything, or you have worked on some projects or something like that. Then comes your last degree, BTech degree, then comes your +2 degree, then comes your 10th degree. If you think that you won't give one of them, you can leave that. Even that is not essential. Start from the last one and then go on to the first one. So that is the reverse chronology. Next is functional resume, is where you do not talk about all the experiences you have or all the degrees that you have. What you talk about is just the highlighted things. So you have worked on a project just before you are applying for a job. That means that particular project is very important. You go into a little bit of responsibilities or things that you did during the project. You don't have to go into the other jobs or that you do not have any other experience. You don't have to talk about that. What are the things you should include? Contact information, then a short summary where you write about the objective of you choosing a career as an employee rather than doing something on your own, or maybe you have that goal but you would like to have some experience. So whatever it is, write an objective of your life and why you're working in the company. Next comes education, then comes other job related skills, whatever skills you have that can be utilized in the job. And last but not the least is you can add these things: certificates, languages, awards and honors, any volunteer work, any hobbies, any conferences, publications, projects that you have done besides your college project, and any freelance work which may be entirely different from anything technological but still can be mentioned here. So that is a CV. Next I will talk about CV versus resume. Resume and CV are almost synonymous at the present moment, but there are some differences. So what are the differences? Some samples are given here. In a CV you give the contact information, then you give a one line statement, then you write about the education, your professional appointments, anything you have done, publication, books, awards, grants, fellowship, conferences, any experiences, research or teaching, any non-academic activities, one or two. These are not important, but these become very important when you're writing a resume. But in a resume, you are giving this contact information. Then comes what? Resume summary or objective. That is the very vital part, which a person will read and try to understand what you designate yourself as and how you are using that designation to apply for a job in that company. Next come work experience. If there is no work experience, you're going to talk about any project experience that you have. Then comes education experience, all in the reverse chronological order. Next is skills also, the best skill, highest achievement first. Even in awards, etc., the highest achievement should come first, not in chronology. There are various types of CVs and resume formats followed in various countries. This is just for your knowledge. You don't have to utilize it anywhere. Next comes, I have given you some resume formats for freshers. What should be there? What should be the resume suitable type? I talk about chronology, functional and combination resume, which should be used and where which should be used. Next is giving an impressive headline. Suppose you are a computer science engineer, which most of you are not in this department. You have to write something like this as your heading. Or if you are a general engineer, applying for a different type of job, you can use this type of heading. Excellent communication skills, technical skills that can ensure smooth operation in any organization. Make it with the legible fonts and this font size, and that will make it easy to read. Next comes is some other advice that I have got from a different source about what are the things you can use when you are writing your resume. I'm not going into the details because it is pretty much explained. Now I come to a format or a sample of a fresher's resume. Profile summary, as I said, is your objective or a well written one, which is actually where you are pitching to your recruiters, telling your recruiters why you are the best in the job that you're applying for. And here you have educational details, then other parts of the profile. Now comes a sample. I'll give a sample first, a different type. Suppose I said name and address and phone, email and LinkedIn URL. A professional person, a person who is looking for a job or looking for someone to hire or has a company and wants to spread the company, these are the people who go to LinkedIn to spread themselves around, to network on their field. If you have a LinkedIn URL, you prove that you are a very serious and very focused professional. So you give a designation for yourself, software engineer. Then you tell us in this designation there may be hundreds of points. Which are the 2 or 3 points that you actually are good in? Design and development, object oriented analysis, relational database system. Sorry for getting stuck. Then this is your objective statement or your professional statement, where you talk about the things you know and how you are going to use it for the company. Technical skills, the most important skills, these are part of your part of the subject that you have studied, but you are highlighting them so that the person can understand that you have a real idea. And as you can see, here are certain other things that have been added that the person has done besides whatever he has learned at college. Professional experience, you don't have any, go ahead and write education and certificates. Education first, university, degree, bachelor's degree, etc. Then comes any certificates that you have. So this is one format. There are other 2 formats for you. Here again, the address and they are all following the left hand margin. This is called a resume which is made into format. So, and this is something which you can write or type. This is the format that you will come up with. So the name, address, profile summary, education, because it's a fresher, and technical skill set. Sorry, you see, the person has included things that she has studied more or less while she was doing her degree. All the main subjects have been added here. Nothing extra has been given, just the person has used those things, taken up those subjects which will be necessary for a software job. Next, she has talked about the internship. It was 2 weeks duration, so that's not a big deal, but still she has given it, which organization, what title, and what was the duration, what was the key project she worked on, or what was the key project that she made in her final years, and other courses that she has completed, maybe outside the scope of the subject that she was studying. Some personal details, very little bit, date of birth and language. The same CV has been structured in a different way. When a person gives a header like this, what happens with a photo and a name and a designation, you are as if you are telling the world that you are established in this field, and this background gives a personal glimpse into your life. Now what the person has done is, he or she has taken everything and put it into a single page, just made a different color and put it into a single page. If you're writing this CV, you would need a little bit more than a A4 page. It would, maybe A5 will be good, but this is something which will definitely fit in an A4 page and make it easy to read. So this is something which a person should be using. These are certain mistakes you should be avoiding. Now here I should add one thing. When you're writing your CV or your biodata or your resume, what you have to do is you have to think about keywords. Nowadays what happens, every company, whenever they ask for a job application or opens up a post, thousands of people apply. So if the person is going to check every CV and watch, he or she may not be in a position to have enough manpower. So what they do is they make keyword searches. Keywords are things that are related to the job that you have applied. Suppose you have applied for a software job, you must know certain things like Java and all those things, or they are waiting for someone who has Java, who has the knowledge of Java. So Java is a keyword. You have passed your BTech degree, so BTech will be a keyword. You have C++, so that will be a keyword. They find out 3 or 4 keywords. One keyword can be used once, like BTech can be used once. So another keyword can be used 4 times, and rest 2 cannot be used more than 2, max to max 3 times. 4, 2, 3 and 1. 10. 10 words which are keywords which they have chosen, which you should be using. How do you know the keywords? That is a research that you have to do every time you apply for a job. And you are to use that particular word few times, so that when the bot, it is a bot which is used, bot goes for these searches, they finds these words and your CV is shortlisted. The first hurdle is crossed. Next, the person will come to your CV and see certain other things manually. So you have to think about these keywords. Last thing that I have to share with you is this assignment that I've given you. Sorry, this is not the assignment that I gave you. I gave you an assignment of writing your CV as a fresher. in 1000 words, and you should be, I mean, using all these formats to write it and submit it. So remember that it is a fresher CV. Do not add anything fictitious, anything beyond the scope of the CV. Stick to the rules that I have taught you. Next I will be what should I say, next I'll be sharing with you certain tips and tricks that are used to make a CV much more impressive, much more happening. But that is something which is not this format, and this format is the standard format, has been used for years and is being followed by a university for your exams. So this is what you should know first. Once you know and can develop on this, we can move on to the different formats. Okay, so bye, do your assignment and submit it fast.